No! Hello and welcome back to the Flower Gold Wizard channel. I'm Jason and my dog Rigby and I are part-time gold prospectors based out of Wisconsin. We know where the gold is. Today's episode is going to be just a little bit different. I'm at a location I know there's great gold here and I was going to save it for winter, but I just gotta have it. Today I'm going to put all this gold concentrates in a pail, get it home, run it over my cleanup sluice, and we're going to try something just a little bit different. If you're a subscriber, you hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. I'm going to put that video on the comment generator, random comment generator, and I'm going to mail it to whoever wins it. So let's get some gold. Back in a bit. This is our spot. There's Rigby. And look who came along today. It's the moose dog. Mrs. Wizard didn't want him to come along, but we talked her into it. That's right. So, first thing I'm going to do is show you guys exactly where we're going to work today. Now, I did a video a while back down there, and I could see upstream here, up creek, there was a pile of boulders here that I thought might have been like a natural occurring deposit. But once I got up here, I quickly realized that somebody had come down here and built a little dam, and I think for a sluice right there. And I think they were digging right around in here and, you know, wherever. So I decided that since this is a natural settling area, because the creek's really narrow up there and it widens out right here and it's dropping out the things that I want, in particular, gold, black sand, etc. Now, when we were here last, and I was going to save it for winter, but I'm not. I was digging right underneath here. You can kind of see that depression right there where I was digging. And I got gold in every darn pan out of there. Right out of underneath what used to be a tree root system, probably connected to the ground at one point in time, but has since gotten worn out of there. And we really did well there. I pulled a bunch of boulders out of there so we could dig, but I can see nobody's been back here high grade me. So today I brought the big fella. I brought my big Devon VDR sluice mat here from Infinity Prospecting. That stuff works good. I can pound material on that stuff with that screen. So the first thing I got to do is I got to build this dam up just a little bit better, a little bit closer to where I'm going to work in this area right here. And so I can get a little bit faster water flow over my sluice, because it does take a little bit to run that screen. I got to get enough depth in water to get over the top of the screen to wash the rocks off, and I have to have enough water flow and speed to make the riffle action in those vortexes. So let me get started on that and we'll pick it back up in a minute. Back in a bit. Well, with a small amount of effort, we got a dam built all the way across this baby. That's a good solid 20-22 feet, I bet. There are plenty of rocks laying around, or it wasn't that big of a chore. A little bit of bending over, but that's just fine. But we did get our sluice up and running here. All we gotta do is throw a little shovel on there. I'll grab some of these tailings here just to test it out. Let's see how it's running. Now it seems to be, there's plenty of water flow on it, that's for sure. You know, I might have to brush some of them rocks off of there here and there, but the main concern is whether or not these riffles in here are turning over material, so it's exchanging the light material for the heavy material. Now I can see all the way up in here that there is some material stuck in those riffles, so I may have to do just a little bit of adjusting, so we'll do that right now. Back in a bit. Now, when we left off here last time from this particular location, I was into the clay and it wasn't that far down. And I can see nothing's filled back in, because there's my first scoop out of that hole. And there's a big old cloud of clay. So we are on the money. I can go ahead and throw that right on my sluice. I think I got that running properly. Give that a whip. That's what it takes. See all that clay running down there? Give this stuff a little maneuvering around a little bit, or jostling, if you will. And I think we're in the money. So now it's just a matter of breaking some back. And we're going to do that. Back in a bit. Now, any hard-working prospector will tell you, you burn through a lot of calories out in the woods. So we'd like to bring our snacks. Today's snack episode is brought to you by Partridge Family Prospecting. Look at this here. He sent me, his dog actually sent my dog some little snacks here, little bones. I'm pretty sure he made them himself. And he sent me a little package of different kinds of cheeses. Some string cheese and, you know, some other smoked items. And I've been crunching on that stuff pretty heavily, and well, it's gone. That stuff was absolutely delicious, and I thank you for it. So we're going to have a little snack time right now. Rigby, come here. Right here. That's from your buddy Daryl over at Partridge Family Prospecting. Yeah, he likes them. Oh, yeah. And the moose dog, you want one? You know he wants one. Here we go. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Back in a bit. All right. Well, I'm letting the sluice clean out just a little bit because I've been pounding some material on there. I'm going to keep shoveling on it, but I want to make sure that my vortexes are working properly, and a good way to do that is just to leave it run once in a while. So I'm going to let that run a minute. I'm going to do a little test pan out of the material we're working over there. Look at how mucky and clay, full of clay that stuff is. That's what we're looking for around here. Is able to find bedrock around here, you might have to dig down 50 feet, 200 feet, who knows? And that's just not going to be feasible, especially not for the small quantities of gold that we're after, or that are available to us around here. So we rely on the clay to kind of act as a false bedrock, because that gold is typically not going to go through the right types of clay. It's going to be good and dense, and that gold's going to sit right up on top of it. I've got my big super sluice pan here, and I can quickly chew through a bunch of this stuff here. And we will. What a nice day out too. I think it's only like 72 degrees, and the sun isn't making it through the trees out here, so it's really nice and cool. Standing right in the water here with no waders or nothing. Then we take a little peek at that there, and there's a really nice amount of black sand in there. Let me grab the camera. Well, I guess I accidentally turned the camera off, but we're back in action. So there's the amount of black sand I got in one little pan there. I'll see if I can do this one-handed and run the camera. Well, like I said, it's a little dark. It's kind of deceiving looking through that camera. It looks pretty bright, and I'll never see the gold. So I got my black pan set up right over there. I'm going to throw this right in it, and I have to use both hands for that exercise, and we'll see if there's any gold in there. Set that down right there. What do you think? He wants that last little bone over there. We'll get to it. Back in a bit. And here's the gold from our little test pan. There's two little pieces in there. Let me get that in the shade. There's one right up on the very tippy top, right? Where's my finger? Right there. And there's another one right there. So it stands to hold true that there is still decent gold in that hole. So far, every pan I pulled out of that little root nodule had gold in it. So I think somebody's gonna be in for a good payday. Mats are turning good and black. That means we're catching black sand and gold, hopefully. So all we gotta do now is get back to work. Sun's poking through the trees just a little bit. Back in a bit. Hey, I wanna give you guys a little tip. I'm sure a bunch of you guys know this, but some guys might not. Something that might help you while you're digging. Now, I've got this hole underneath this thing started, and we're down probably roughly 2 feet before we hit the clay. So rather than digging straight down, you know, making the hole bigger, I'm kind of pushing the material from the sides right in here, pushing it off into the hole, and then scooping it up rather than trying to penetrate all these rocks like this. That's a pretty big one. That's what I'm pulling out of there now, down about 2 feet, them big rocks like that. And it's mighty difficult, next to impossible, to get your shovel through ground packed with those. So what I've been doing is just kind of pushing it all off and using my foot to maneuver the shovel a little bit with leverage and just pushing it all into this pile. And you can see it's getting quite a bit bigger now. And I'm down to the clay, and I'm going about 8 inches into the clay, and then I'll move out a little bit. So that's what we've been up to. We're really running well. And as I'm taking them rocks out of there, I'm building my dam up just a little bit higher. I'd really like to see about 2 more inches of pitch on that, but it is still running pretty fair. So we're gonna stick with it. Back in a bit. Let's take a look at something really, really cool. Now you can see the end of my shovel here. We're into that clay. Look at above the clay right here. That is solid black sand. That is just pure black sand with a little bit of gravel mixed in there. That is really, really cool. And it's going through the sluice a little bit slower, so I'm expecting this stuff is quite a bit heavier than some of the other spots on this creek, and maybe that's why there's so much gold here. Throw that on there, look how dirty that is. But that's where the gold is. You got to be in the muck around here. I mean, there is some gold scattered in and amongst all this glacial till gravels, you know, scattered about this creek, but we're looking for something that concentrates it a little bit more. And this little settle-in area, for whatever reason, right in that spot right there, you know, I might have to sample around here a little bit, but why? Right now we're doing really well right there. So we're gonna keep pounding that on there. Back in a bit. We've been at this, I don't know, hour and a half or so, solid shoveling on there. Well, guess what? It's snack time again. This time I get a snack. Now, my wife went ahead and made some homemade beef jerky. Look at that. It is the best beef jerky ever made by a human being. This snack break has been brought to you by Chris Lilly's Rock of the Week. Notice the striping in this wonderful piece of quartz. I'll probably go ahead and mail this one to him. Not. Back in a bit. A while back, one of the commenters wondered what the difference between gold and fool's gold was. Now, this isn't very scientific, but if you look right there, there is a big sparkle right there. That's fool's gold. That's a big old piece of mica laying right on top. And actually, it's scattered all over the place in here now that the sun's kind of beating down on the water a little bit. But that shines just like gold. That'll fool you. But it's really super light, and it comes in big clumps and clusters, and it flakes off, and sometimes you'll find big balls of it. And when you're panning, it'll just poof like a snow globe in your pan. That's fool's gold. Back in a bit. We're still here grinding away. Well, he's not grinding so much, but he is on patrol. I got the sluice eating up material like you wouldn't believe. And we are still on it, and I'll tell you how I know that. I was on here doing my thing, and the dogs went crazy. And along comes Bob. He's from Green Bay. He's another local prospector. And he was upstream a little ways. I seen his vehicle. I didn't know exactly where he was or what they were doing, but now we know. He come walking up on me here, and we got to talking, and he didn't do so well up there. So I went ahead and I took a couple shovels out of right here, and I concentrated two pans down into one, and we found a couple, 2-3 pieces of gold. You know, they're micro dots, but gold nonetheless. I got him set up in this spot right here. He's gonna do a little panning over here. Looks like he's got a classifier there, and he's gonna see if he can find himself some gold. Hey, Bob.
That's right.
All right, it's nice to have company once in a while. Looks like Rig Bomb's getting ready for another snack. I'm gonna keep pounding material on there because we're giving it away. Back in a bit. All right, guess what? We're gonna do a cleanup. I took my screen off. I got the front end up and out of the water there. I just want to take a little look here before I dump it in my pail. And we are loaded with black sand. Just what we're looking for. I haven't really inspected it yet for any gold, but it's going to be tough to see. That stuff's going to be buried down in that black sand pretty tight. And Bob over here, his first effort over there, he already found 2 pieces right up off the top. Hey, Bob? So, my inclinations are correct, and he's working up there a little bit. I think maybe this whole bank here, I could probably do a couple sample pans in and around there, but we're busy at the moment. So I'm gonna get that out of there into my pail and keep running, because I'm gonna send somebody a nice pile of gold. Back in a bit. And now, dueling banjos. Never mind. Dueling sluices. Bob here found gold, so he went and grabbed a sluice. Now this is a homemade jobber, but sure looks interesting. He's got some little legs on there so he can get his pitch and whatnot correct. And it looks like he needs to invest in some mats, but I think what he does have here ought to catch a little bit of gold anyway. He didn't want to break the bank on some stuff if he wasn't going to find gold, but I think he's hooked. So he's going to go ahead and start digging over here too. There's plenty of room for everybody. I got that clean out done. It's in my container over there by the moose dog. And we got a fresh mat right here. And we're going to fill that sucker up again. Back in a bit. You ever get that feeling you're being watched? I do. Alright, we've got a mountain of material run through this thing. The camera will not do that hole justice that we dug out over there today. We got a lot of material moved, so I'm going to get this thing cleaned up. We're going to get the heck out of here and run that through my cleanup sluice. Let me get a little water in my pail here. We'll pull this front edge out of the water. Grab me a rock of some type. Just like that. Now I got no more water running through there. Let's turn my little wing nut here if I can. There we are. Pull a screen. Then I'll take a little look at the mats here quick before I clean it up. Yeah, we are just absolutely packed with black sand in there again. Somebody's gonna have quite the time panning this stuff out when I mail it to you. All right. Bob's still over there grinding. He's making the water all murky. He's down to the clay too. So I wish him luck, and we're gonna get the heck out of here. Back in a bit. We made it back to the shop. First things first. Let me grab a little something out of here. That's right. Sticker fridge. Bam. All right, I've got my little Devon Gold cleanup sluice ready to roll here. Here's our concentrates from the day. That's a lot. That is a lot of black sand right there. But this thing's gonna chew through that no problem. I've got my little bilge pump speed controller on there. I got that from Washington Beach Mining. I'll go ahead and turn that up just a little bit. I want to start off a little bit slower than I probably will be running. And I'll take my little brush here and I'll get all those little air bubbles out of there. That'll keep the gold from floating away. Let's see here, there's a couple more in each one of these. I'll just throw that in there and give her a little spin like such. Now I've got this set up at 8 degrees right now, and usually that's been working pretty darn good for me. So we're gonna start off with that, see what happens. Let's grab a little scoop material, throw it on there. Let's see here, what's going on. And it looks like they're roiling around in there a little bit. That's absolutely what you want. There is some lighter materials in here, so you want the roiling action to kick all that light stuff up and out of there, and just keep the heavies. Now I didn't run this over a magnet or nothing. That's going to be up to whoever wins this stuff, but I want to see what kind of gold's in it. I think we're probably running pretty good. I'm going to throw a couple more scoops on there. Just to see what a little bit more material is going to do. And we might want to turn the water up just a little bit. I don't want to, I think it's holding on to just a few too many black sands in there. So I will, I'll just grab this thing here and I'll turn it up a little bit. There you go. Yeah, now they're starting to dance around in there really well. Those will get kicked out of there a little bit slower. You don't want everything just washing right out of there. But all those little vortexes are really spinning around nicely. And I know we're gonna catch the gold if there's any in here. And there is. So let me throw a whole bunch of that through there and we'll see if we see anything. Back in a bit. We are still running. However, I'm empty. Gotta get another one. Let me show you what we got here. Now what I did was I took that material that was in that other container. This is the material, but I broke it down. I wanted to see if there was anything in the bigs here. So I took all the material and I ran it through a little classifier there, and I got it down in the bigs and littles. And I'm running the littles through here right now. And we're seeing gold. See those little sparkles up in there? The gold is really tiny. They kind of shimmer a little bit and then they disappear. That's a little bit of sand moving around in there, but there's definitely gold in the sluice. There's another couple more you can see there every once in a while. So we're doing well. I'm feeding it in there, I wouldn't say really fast, but you know, fast enough. I'll go ahead and dump that one on there. See what it looks like. Yeah, you can still see that gold in there. And I think I have it set just right. See that material, how that's roiling around in there? Underneath that top edge right up there. That's where your gold's gonna be hiding. And then down in the bottom of these little circle vortices here. Then if you're interested in any of this this equipment here from Devon Gold from Infinity Prospecting, you can get 5% off by using promo code Devon FGW. 5%'s 5%. Back in a bit. All right, it's gone. We got it all run through there. Let me shut this baby down. Take a little look. And come on, you focus. I do see some gold up in there. A few pieces scattered about here and there, but there is a certain amount of black sand in there yet. Covering a bunch of that stuff up, I'm sure. There's one over in that corner over there. And down in our main catch area, you can't really see much of anything. So I'm going to get this stuff in a pan and we'll take a look at it. Back in a bit. And we're back. Here's the gold. We did pretty good, in my opinion. There's quite a few pieces in there. Now we moved, geez, I don't know, probably better of a half a yard of material or so, maybe even a little more than that. I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to box that all back up in that whole pile of black sand and everything that came with. I'm going to dry it out and I'm going to put that in a package. And for the first time ever, I'm going to give away a bag of my pay dirt here. This is straight out of my beach mining cleanup setup right here. This, I ran a bunch of pails, 3 pails of black sand from Lake Superior. That's the cleanup right there. I don't know what's in it for gold. It's undisclosed. Back it a bit. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Flour Gold Wizards. If you want to win that gold right there, all you got to do is A, be a subscriber, B, leave a comment, and C, hit that thumbs up down there. I'm just taking a one-time break from my 7,000 subscriber giveaway can. I want to give back to my subscribers a little bit before the big one. So until the next episode, like, share, subscribe. Please do leave a comment. Flour Gold Wizards out.